Yo, what's good, guys? It's Excel here. This is the very first video on my channel. This channel is pretty much just going to be mainly story times. So if you guys enjoy that type of content, feel free to stick around. But I don't want to have too long of an intro. So yeah, let's get into it. So this story time is how I got caught sneaking out, if you guys can't already tell by the title. So let's take this a few years back. So a few years ago, I have 3 friends over. We're chilling out in my basement. It's around 9, 10 o'clock, and, we're playing PlayStation, we're playing Xbox, we were playing Call of Duty World War II at the time mostly, and a few hours later, everyone in the house starts to fall asleep. And so I've snuck out before. Like, this isn't the very first time I did it, but this time we decided, hey, like, let's go out and just do what we want to do. So we quietly go upstairs from the basement, get our shoes on, and then we come back down to the basement, and my basement has like an emergency crawl space exit, so you can go into it, and there's like a little ladder, and you can get into the backyard. So we open the window, and there's a screen though. Now I don't have that screen anymore. Reason being is because that screen got so badly messed up, because again, I've snuck out before, but this time it was literally on its like last life. So we removed the screen, and I was like, yeah, I knew this thing was broken. So eventually I probably would have even gotten caught for that. But besides that, we go up and we go to a store. We buy like chips, we buy candy, stuff to drink, but yeah, just random stuff that we wanted. So after that, we come out the store. There's not really many people in the store, it was just pretty much workers. So we come out the store, and we're just chilling right in front of the store, like on the sidewalk. And there's not like a lot of cars. It's like 1:30 in the morning, probably 2 at this time. And we're just chilling and finishing up our snacks and everything like that. So then on the main road, we see a cop car or a patrol car, and we're like, oh. And for some reason, our instincts was just to run. So we run all the way down. It's kind of like a strip mall, but it's not a strip mall. Like, there's more stores, but it's like not all right next to each other. So we all run down to this other store, and we chill there, and then we're like, okay, let's just chill here for a little bit, and then we'll go back home later. And we chilled there for a long time. Actually, it was probably like 30 minutes, and we were just talking, messing around, doing stupid things. And then we see another patrol car on the main road. So then again, our instinct is to run. So we run back to the other store, because that store is closer by my house anyways. And we sit there, not for too long, because we're just like thinking, like, should we go home or what should we do? And our dumb brains had the idea to think of going on our school's football field. I don't know why we thought of that, or why we even thought that was a good idea. Mainly because of the reason, if we did get caught on the football field, we could have been charged for trespassing, which would have been the stupidest thing I think I've ever done. But we're like, okay, we are going to do that. And so we go to cross the street to go to my school, and as we're crossing the street, we just see bright light shining down the street, and we were like, run. And so we run, and there's like an electrical box on the other side of the street, and then there's like some bushes and stuff like that. And so I actually was gonna hide in the bushes with my 2 friends, and thank goodness I didn't, because I would have gotten caught then and there. But we go over there, and then my one friend grabs me, he pulls me behind the electrical box, and then my 2 other friends go behind the branches, and we're just sitting there. And then we see the car come in, and then it turns to the left, and then the guy comes out, and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we were just literally in shock, and like we didn't know like who it was. Like, maybe we thought it was just someone like wondering what we were up to this late at night. And then my one friend peeks over the electrical box, and he's like, dude, that's a cop. And that's when my heart just dropped. I was like, no way. So he transitions to the other side, and then again he pulls me as the cop is walking towards us. He pulls us to the other side, and he sees our one friends. Like, the bushes they were hiding in were little thin bushes, like, you could easily see. And I was like, to my one friend, let's just call him John. I was like, John, do we just book it? And he's like, yeah. And we book it across the street, go all the way down, like, so far down. And then we end up arriving to my house, go down through the emergency exit into my basement, and I'm freaking out at this point. I'm like, this is gonna be all my fault. This is my house that they snuck out of. Like, there's no way that they're gonna say they snuck out of their house, because my two other friends are related, so they could have said that they snuck out of their house, but of course they weren't gonna say that. So I'm freaking out, wondering what we do, and I was just like, John, do we just pretend we're sleeping? And that's exactly what we do. Close the window, close the curtains, turn off all the lights in the basement. I go in the bed, he goes on the couch, and literally all we're doing is just fake sleeping, just waiting to know that they have arrived. And of course, not even like 10 minutes later, I hear ding on my doorbell, and that's when I just knew it was all over. I'm still pretending to be asleep, so is John. He's on the couch. We're literally not saying anything, and then you can hear everyone in my house waking up. And then my dad, obviously my dad and my mom decided to open the door, and they found the cop and my two friends. I think there was more, though, at the time. I'm pretty sure it was like 2 or 3. And I know about like 10 minutes after that, my dad opens the basement door and he calls my name, and I didn't answer because I was fake sleeping. And I remember hearing them like, yeah, he's gone. And I could see like cops shining flashlights in the backyard and stuff like that. And then my dad, like 5 minutes later, again, he opens the basement door, but this time he comes down and he's like, wait, they're down here. And he tries to like start waking me up, and I was like grogging, like faking. And he's like, your two friends just snuck out of the house. And I was like pretending like, what, really, like, what's going on? And then I was like, John, yo, like, our two friends just snuck out. And he was like, what, really, like, all that fake stuff. So then he's like, come upstairs. And so me and John come upstairs, and we see our two other friends. Let's just call them Jake and Liam. So Jake and Liam are just standing right there with 2 cops, and I think the third one was probably outside. And we're just staring, like, no one's really saying anything. And then the cop finally speaks, and he's like, so were you out tonight? And for some reason, he's literally directly talking to me. Like, he wasn't talking to my friend John at all during this whole time. And so, yeah, I was like, no, officer, I was not out tonight. And he's like, you sure about that? And I was like, yeah. He's like, your two friends are telling me otherwise. And they're like looking at me like saying, bro, just tell them the truth. And I was like, no, I didn't sneak out tonight. And he was like, okay, I'm going to go to the store, because I know you guys did go to the store, and I see that you guys had some snacks and stuff like that. So I'm going to go check the cameras to see if you guys stole them. So not only will that let me see if you guys actually paid or stole for them, which we didn't. We did fully pay for the snacks and everything like that. But I'll be able to tell, like, if you were there or not. And that's where I just gave up. I was like, I'm not going to deal with that. So I was like, okay, yeah, I did go outside, and so did John. And he's like, yep, that's what I thought. And it's surprising now that I think of it till this day, how they still never saw us book it. Like, they never saw us run off. Like, we were right next to him, too, when we did that. And so he's like, yeah, he's like, so that's what I thought. Like, just being an asshole about it. Like, yeah, now I have you down as a liar and all this on your record. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, well, you guys have a good night. Stay safe. Let's not have anyone go outside past curfew. And yeah. And so he leaves, and then, my parents are just disappointed in me. They're like, have your fun while you're at it, because you're not going to have it for a while. And I was like, okay. So we go down to the basement, and we're just hanging out. We go back on COD, and yeah, that was pretty much the end of the night. Then comes next morning, my dad comes down. He's like, listen, I'm not going to tell your guys' parents, which I didn't want him to do either. But then on the other hand, it just kind of sucked for me, because then, of course, I was the only one who got in trouble. And I'm pretty sure I was grounded for like 3 weeks after that. It was a pretty long time before I hung out with anyone. But yeah, moral of the story, don't be passed out past curfew. if you're not over the age of 18. Not only can stuff like that happen, but who knows, there can be some weird people out past midnight and you just don't want to be involved in that stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the story. Again, I will have more like this, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.